so it was a lot of traveling, okay? And so in the future, what I would do, if I could modify the trip, I would go for maybe a day longer and cut it to 2 spots. But the problem is, skiing is so fun. It's a problem. Like, it feels like now we gotta go ski. But I'll say that I don't think it's necessary. Like maybe we can get the skiing kick out in Los Angeles, because it's not like you can only ski in Japan. You know, it's just a great place to ski. But it was Chinese New Year's, okay? It was very busy. So I was actually quite fearful on the slopes. I was only shredding, okay, for what felt like 30 seconds, like pure shredding. As in, like, I was like, oh, I get this. Give me the steepest hill you can find. I was like, the remaining 8-9 hours were just pure fear. Like, I was just terrified constantly. I was scared. I put it, no, that's a lie. I was fearful constantly, but I would have moments of like decent skiing, right? But there was always like this voice in the back of my head that was like, don't fall, don't fall. You're going to hit someone. You're going to hit someone, because there's people everywhere. At one point, I hear the intercom go off. I'd be like, brah, brah, brah. Okay, no. Let me tell you, the very first day of skiing, I had the protection, the liner of my goggles. I forgot to peel it off. Okay. So I was putting my goggles on and I was like, I cannot see. How are you guys seeing? And I just didn't get it. And so I was like, I literally feel like so blind putting these goggles on. And people are like, you know, you have to put them on or else you get snow blindness. And I was like, this is making me blind. There's no way that this is right. But I didn't question like the lining for some reason. So I just skied with them on my head. Okay, so that was the first day. I was just getting a little snow blindness. The second day, I decide to like question it a little more. And I put it on. I'm at the top. I'm just like, there is no way that this is how they are selling their goggles. So I look inside and I'm like, oh dear Lord. And I pulled it and I was like, oh my, I can actually see. People are like, nah. Harrison's like, nah. Right behind. I was like, it works. Okay, so then the other problem with these goggles is that the strap is so thick that it covers my ears, right? Like, they're muffling my ears, okay? And there's a helmet. There's a lot of layers of protection. So the goggles, the things on the side of my head, pushing my helmet into it. So I can't really hear that well, okay? So I'm skiing at one point, just getting my groove. And I hear these guys, 2 guys on my right, loud. Like, they're right there. And I was like, oh, shit, I'm getting hit by some snowboarders. Okay, I knew they were snowboarders. So I flung myself into the side of the mountain. Like, I literally just threw myself sideways. There was a hill. And then I looked to my right, and there's no one there. And I was like, what? But I hear them. And I take off my thing. It's the intercom. The intercom was going off, but my hearing was so muffled that I thought there was people in my ears. And like Harrison once again, it's like, why did you just do that? He's like, you okay? I was like, never mind. I went to explain, never mind. I thought that, never mind. So that's how it started. Then I got into my groove, okay? I started understanding. At first, I was pizzaing a lot, but then I started like, whoosh, 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 whoosh. Okay, I was getting it, okay? And then here I have brought an excerpt of my skiing adventures. Well, you can see it. I also posted it on Twitter in case you want to see.
We the best music.
That's me.
Another one. Yeah. Bitches calling my phone like I'm
So sad. It's so sad. But until then, oh my God, I was carving. Did you see that? Did you see that? Like, you saw that. Like, look at my form. I thought it was pretty good. Okay, well, I don't know how to pull the clip up again. I was carving. It was smooth. You could see it. It was good. Girl, the Olympics are calling. Ooh. So that was that. Blau Ski School. Actual Blau W, guys. He taught us how to ski. He taught us all how to ski. People were riding, first timers, going down blues, not not knowingly going down blues, but going down blues. And he got people to go down blacks. Not me. But I think he took Foolish, Broden, Tina. Who else went down the black? People went down the black, okay? And that's like, so you guys don't know skiing. It's like, there's green slopes, and then there's the blues, and then there's the blacks, and then there's the double blacks. And those are like, I don't know how steep it is. If I had to guess, it's like this is like a green. This is like a blue. This is like a black. And like, that's like a double black. That's just a cliff. Niseko was a ski leg. It was a good time. I did injure my meniscus. Okay, I fell like probably 25 times if I had to guess. My meniscus, I had to get it looked at. I knew when it happened. Okay, there's multiple occasions that I knew I felt an active pull. Okay, like one of the times I got like skied into and okay, another time, basically, I fell, and then my knee, I felt my leg basically stop, right? Like where it should, but my ski kept going, right? And that was that one. My leg, it was like my foot should have stopped, but my ski kept skiing. And then I was like, oh, that one's going to hurt tomorrow. And then another one, I fell, boom, okay, and I felt this muscle pull. Okay, and then I couldn't get my ski pole, so I threw my other pole to catch my other pole, okay, but I couldn't catch it, so then this little kid skied up to me and went, here you go, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. And then also, outside of our hotel, there's like a patch of slippery AF ice, okay, and Broden's such a sicko. Broden would just watch this patch, okay, and he's like, oh, waiting for people to fall, okay. We watched like 6 or 7 people fall at this spot. It's like a hill, okay? And it's a bait. It looks kind of shallow, but it's actually so steep. And it's just like a up and a down, okay? And then there's a safe path to the right, but it's hella muddy. And so every time outside of our hotel, we walk out and you make a decision. It's like the risky but faster way or the muddy and like safer way, okay? And like multiple times, okay? Like we were literally going down this thing, and someone slipped, or someone like Broden like almost slipped, and then there's an old guy behind him, and we're like, hey, it's really slippery. He's like, what? We're like, it's really slippery, and he's like, I'll be fucked. Boom, falls. And he's like, ah. Then the guy behind him, we're like, don't go there, also falls. Boom. Okay. So when I'm by myself, okay, I was on my way actually because I had just hurt my knee. Okay, I was on my way to my appointment. To the physio. Okay, it's called Niseko Physio. And I'm like, this is stupid. I shouldn't go to the left, but I need to get to my physio appointment. So I go up the hill, and as I'm walking up this slippery hill, I see a woman coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, whatever I do, I cannot slip, because that's doubly embarrassing to slip in front of a stranger. And so I kind of and I'm stepping up, and she's coming towards me, and she goes, oh, be careful. And I was like, oh, I got it. Don't worry. I lose my step. And she's like, hold on to me. She like jumps out, and I grab her arms, and she like pulls footing, and then she pulls me up. I was like, thank you. She's like, no problem. And then we just part ways. I go to my physio appointment, and there's a doctor. His name was Max. Everyone at this clinic was Australian, okay? Everyone in Niseko is Australian and British. I barely heard one word of Japanese, by the way. Niseko is, didn't realize this, it's a full-on, like everyone there, like, comes for the season, okay? You hear so much Australian everywhere, the Australian accent, okay? I get to the Niseko Physio thing. It's literally advertising, like, the good points about it. And it was like, quick service, blah, blah, Australian doctors, check mark. Anyway, so I have a very nice Australian doctor named Max. And I changed into some basketball shorts, and he's like, lay down, please. I was like, ugh. And he's like, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Okay, get up, stand on one foot, squat. Does that hurt? Squat. Okay. And he's like, all right. So here's a diagram of your knee. And he pulls out like a full-on like replica of a knee. And he's like, here's your patella, and here's this, and here's your meniscus. And based on the things that you're telling me, he's like, it just seems like you've injured it, but like not severely. We're going to get you into a knee brace. he tries to give me this knee brace that is so clunky. It's like 2 inches thick around. I was like, in no world am I wearing that for the rest of the trip. I can't put any of my pants around it. So I like pull it up, and I was like, no, that's not working. So he's like, okay, well, let's go for something more subtle. So I get like a much thinner one. It's so tight around my leg, but he's like, it's supposed to feel that way. Anyway, so I walk out with my little leg brace. My knee still hurts a bit, but everything's fine. But I quit skiing for that day and for the rest of the trip.